Here's your heads up to this little 5-minute quickie. It's a ramble and it's all about a little bit of encouragement, I think, and just not taking any notice of the naysayers and enjoying every breath that we take on this little life of ours. Have a listen.
Warning. 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 You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, we talk about here at PDU, Personal Development Unplugged, of trying to make things simple, and also start off at the very beginning, don't I, that say that I believe people have made this thing, personal development, so a lot of the processes in it far more complicated than they need be. And that's what we like to do, to break them down into their simplest terms and keep a nice, simple process that just works. Now, the other day I was watching somebody on a video, someone who had made their name in NLP, who some years later was then saying it was rubbish. And people, NLP practitioners weren't, it just didn't make sense. And he actually told this bonky story of something happening and everyone losing their heads, and, oh look, an NLP practitioner stands up and says, oh, push the problem away, okay, make it smaller and darker. And guess what? The accident still happened. Well, he didn't get it, did he? Because when you do things like that, you are able to access into the state to deal with the problem as best you can, not run around like a headless chicken. And it was so, I don't know, I can't understand why people do that. Why they run things down that was their bread and butter, was the thing that created who they are in the public eye. And the thing is, he was also saying, oh, everyone is so much into personal development these days. Why can't they just get a life and just do other things? Just enjoy life. Well, here's the thing. The reason why I do personal development, and I think you do too, is because we've got an infinite possibility inside us, but we've also got a finite period of time on this world. That's if you believe there's one life. But even so, each one life has a finite time. And why would you not, in this finite time that we have right now, not try to improve yourself? Not try to improve yourself and improve the lives of others. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't someone who just loved other people, loved life, and was so compassionate, why wouldn't you want to make things better in this world? There's enough people making the world into a nasty place. So why wouldn't you, with your compassionate heart beating, not try to make yourself that one little bit better every day, and therefore making the world a little bit better every day, because the world that you're in, you're creating and you're making that bit better. So I really took exception to that, because the whole point of creating things, and this personal development, as I said before, doesn't have to be this thing that I'm going to be the biggest entrepreneur in the world and do this. You can just be the best you. And if you could be the best you every day and then make it 1% better, because whatever you think you are, you're more than that. Just every day, just putting 1% better than you were yesterday. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? So every good thing got better by 1%. Everything that wasn't quite so good got better by 1%. And I tell you what, as you improve, those negative things get better by more than 1%, because you really step up to the plate and make a difference. And you can make a real difference. As I said, not just to yourself, to the other people in this world, in this little community of ours of Personal Development Unplugged. So I just wanted to share with you that little bit of how people try to change things I guess, were trying to make their life a little bit better by 1%, but maybe not in the most aligned way. Maybe they're not, the truest way, which is at the heart of NLP, being aligned, being true to yourself. So original, authentic, all that stuff, congruent, So if we could do that every day, just be aligned, congruent, true to ourselves, singing from our real heart, our real voice, showing up who we are every day and make it 1% better than yesterday, everyone would enjoy being around us and you. And I'd certainly enjoy being around you when you did that. And I think you might just enjoy a little bit of me when I'm like that. And then those ripples of change go further than we can ever imagine possible. I know this is something that we've talked about so many times, but I think it's so important to remember why we do this. This thing called personal development. It's a label, for goodness sake. It's just about making ourselves a little bit better with compassion. Compassion for ourselves and compassion for everyone around us, to see the beauty. Just this morning, this is the weird thing and the good thing. Just this morning, as I was taking our little dog for a walk, go to the same place most mornings, and as I was just taking off the lead, I looked around and there was such a beautiful display of wild flowers that I hadn't noticed before. Had it been there before? Or had they been there before? Absolutely. But I hadn't noticed them. And just for those few minutes, I just stood and watched, looked, took it in, took in the aroma, the sights, the colours, how it made me feel. And I thought, there's beauty everywhere. Little things like that. And how did that make me feel? It made me feel really grateful for being able to notice it, for being here, having those things in the world, but made me feel good. And how could I take that goodness to another level? Just something I'd like you to think about, if you want to think about it with me. I did say a little while ago, you do get these naysayers, or these people who make things so much more complicated than they need to be, or put down things that they don't need to put down. And we just have to be true to ourselves. And if I'm true to myself and you're true to yourself, hey, we are going to get on. And we're going to get on just enjoying this life of ours. And everyone around us, will enjoy it too. And then we'll all find out that we're having more fun than we can stand, and we're enjoying every heartbeat, just as I say every time. So with that little bit of a ramble, just an observation, and just a bit of encouragement. Encouragement to me, encouragement to you, to continue this little quest of ours, this adventure, to make a difference by being who we really are. And then sharing it into this integrated field of learning where everybody gets to win. There you go. Something to think about, something to ponder. I'm going to carry on pondering about it and see what difference I can make. Little note coming up in the end, just a few things about sharing and things like that. Please listen and enjoy. Thank you for being here. I mean that. Bye. Hey, just before you go, I've just got 2 or 3 little bits of information I'd like to share with you. The first one is, unfortunately, the introductory prices at paulcloughonline.com, the programs such as Free Your Life from Anxiety, Supreme Inner Confidence, the hypnosis tracks there, the paid ones, well, they're all going up in price because this introductory period is coming to an end. But here's the big but. If you join the community by merely just joining paulcloughonline.com/podcast, as usual, you'll get free access to all the hypnosis tracks that are attached to this podcast. You'll also get, now and again, discounts and offers on those programs, and if you want them, and I'll also extend that guarantee completely. And also, you get surprise hypnosis tracks and coaching tracks that won't be available on this podcast, because I want to be able to share even more to the people who are really doing this work and really getting into it. So if you'd like that, go to paulcloughonline.com/podcast get you free access to all those hypnosis tracks and more. Now, the other thing is, did you enjoy this episode of the Personal Development Unplugged podcast? Because if you did, I know time is finite. We've only got so much time in this world and how we use it. But if you did have time to share, wouldn't it be nice if you share this episode or one of your favorite episodes to some friends or unfriends, people who you feel might need it? Because you'll be doing them one of the greatest services, is showing them a way to change themselves. And in that way you wouldn't, well, one thing you'll never know though, is how far the ripples of those change will go. But I know they'll go further than you can imagine, because those changes will make changes in other people as well. And in that way we create a community, but also create a community for change. And the big picture is we will change this little earth we live on in a good way. That would be brilliant, I think. And also, lastly, but not leastly, if you'd like to receive these podcasts on whatever you listen to them on, just subscribe. So you can subscribe to iTunes. If you wish, and it'd be really kind if you did, leave a little 5-star review, or any star review, obviously. But leave a review if you could. That'd be nice. But also, there's another great app that I found. I mentioned it before. It's called Castbox. 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 And again, it has a subscription button. It gives you a place where you can leave a review. But also, what I did find out is when you subscribe, you get a facility to search through all the episodes of Personal Development Unplugged. So if you want something for, say, confidence or grief or sadness, or you put that word in and search through and see what comes up. There's so many there. Might be able to make you find the ones that you want that much more easier. Another thing is, if you can't find them, let me know by email, paul@paulclough.co.uk, and I'll guide you to the right place. Also, if there's anything you'd like me to discuss, go deeper with, an issue you have, that obviously you'll remain anonymous. Don't worry about that, because we can dive deep into it. We can come up with some processes. We'll develop a process if need be. But also, it's like when you're in one of those seminars, someone asks a question and you go, oh, thank God. They asked a question I've been wanting to ask, but I didn't feel brave enough. Well, now you can ask that question with complete safety. Send me the email and we'll discuss it, dive deep, find answers for you and all the other people who have similar issues, and we can develop it like that. And let's develop this community. So thank you for this bit of time for listening here. I'm going to get off and get ready for the next one. Okay? So see you soon. Well, enjoy. Well, I mean it so much. Enjoy every heartbeat and have more fun than you can stand. Until next time, it's Paul. Bye-bye.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.